Hello, my fellow creatives, and welcome back or welcome to my podcast. Today's going to be another chill, laid-back episode. I'm pretty sure most of my episodes are going to be like this, but I'm going to be talking about myself, I guess, introducing myself, and kind of getting into my creative journey. This was inspired by talking about my professional journey at work, where we basically were prompted to tell everything that we had done with different organizations and volunteering and jobs and all of that type of stuff. So I figured that I could do it for the creative aspect of things as well. Also, I'm going to address the noise in the background. It's my filter for my turtle tank. Yes, I have a turtle. If you don't watch my YouTube video, feel free to. It's Cr8tive, that's Caycr8s. I don't know why I'm spelling it out. Okay. Anyway, this is probably going to be very uncut too. I apologize in advance. I'm probably going to make most of these episodes uncut. If you're okay with the chatty style, then this is the podcast for you. Okay, we're a whole minute and a half almost in. So let me actually get into talking about myself and my creative journey. And it is also almost 1 a.m. So also apologizing for if my train of thought is everywhere in this. But for me, I am a college freshman in South Florida. I'm African American and I'm 19 years old. I'm a YouTube creator, but also an Instagram creator, and both of those are very, very small, but they're just skinty, as Miss Kelly Stamps would say. They're just skinty. So we're gonna get them thick sooner or later. They're gonna get thick. But yeah, I try to stay as consistent as possible, to be honest, with posting on Instagram and posting on YouTube. And for me, my creativity really jumps out in the way that I edit my posts for Instagram, and especially in the way that I edit my YouTube videos. I take a lot of pride in those, even though I edit them on my phone, which takes hours and hours and hours. It's still a lot of fun for me, and I really do enjoy it. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for me. Oh, and I also go to a community college, so it's not like a big university or anything. Because of Rona, I decided to stay close to home and stick to community college, which was also a whole lot cheaper than going to a university. And I'm kind of enjoying it so far, but we can get into the personal, long-winded life stories in another episode. So basically, my creative journey started off when I was very, very little. This is actually one of the only things that I can say that I ever started off when I was very, very little. I was always just drawn to crafts and art projects at home because my mom would do them with me, or at school, and I took it upon myself to make a whole little sketchbook of like fashion designs and design dresses and clothing, and I thought I was going to be a fashion designer when I was like 6 years old, which was hilarious to think on now. Just thinking about the way that the dresses and things looked. I wasn't the most talented, but I was definitely determined, and I loved to do that. And then along the way, my family, like my mom and my grandma, would give me drawing books and sketching books, and I would literally walk around with the books and walk around with my little notebook and pencils and whatever else that I had, and I would sit down and do that for hours and hours in a day. And then I discovered painting when I was maybe 7 or 8, and I thought that I really loved watercolor the most. That was probably because that was the only thing that I had at the time. But I used any little art sets that I could get my hands on, mostly watercolor paints though, and I started to paint. And my mom and my grandma, they really encouraged me in that area, and they really praised me for my paintings, which was a great confidence booster. And I remember this one time, we're gonna get into a story, I guess. I was at a family reunion and they were doing like little competitions so we could win prizes, and I was trying to freehand draw a tiger. This was when I was like 7. I think like 7 or 6, maybe 6. I don't remember exactly, but still small. I was trying to freehand draw a tiger standing in grass, and I remember literally breaking down crying because I hated the way that it looked. And I was with my grandma, and my grandma was like, "It's okay, you know, it's okay. You're not gonna get it perfect all the time, you know, even if you're not happy with it, other people might be." And so I did the best that I could. I turned in my drawing, and of course they gave me a prize, and that was one of my first ever art sets. And now that I'm talking about it again, it's kind of crazy because I haven't thought back on this memory for a very long time, and it's definitely making me smile. But yeah, that was one of my very first art sets that I won from that little competition that I was obsessing over and trying to be a perfectionist about, which kind of follows me into everything that I do, the perfectionism thing. But yeah, that was a really fun little story, I guess. Let me see if I can get back on my train of thought. Okay, so that drawing happened, and then as I got a little bit older, like later on in elementary school, I really tried to pursue art in a way that was, I guess, less pleasing to myself and more pleasing to others. And I would go to art specials. I don't know if you all know about specials, but at my school, my public elementary school, we would have specials, and art was one of them. Thankfully, I'm very happy that art was one of them. But the art teacher always hated my work. She never liked it. She pretty much just discarded it as something that was just like ordinary, you know, which was really discouraging to me. And I think it kind of took a toll on me and made me say, you know what, maybe the whole art thing like is not for me. Like the drawing and painting, these things that I've prided myself so much on, maybe it's only something that my family likes and no one else will like it. So yeah, that was my first shot to the chest, I guess you could say, confidence-wise when it came to my creativity. And when I went to middle school, art was definitely not on my mind because I was so focused on the academics. And, you know, in middle school, academics gets to be like a super, super big deal, and everybody's like stressing about high school and college all of a sudden, even though we're like 12 years old. Yeah, when I got to middle school, I was mostly focused on academics and trying to just adjust to the whole social stratosphere that is middle school. I could make a whole separate episode about that. Let me know if you'd actually want to hear like some personal stories, like not related to creativity, because I could definitely do that. But anyway, yeah, I was less concerned with my artistic abilities and creativity and expressing myself in a way that was healthy, which really sucks. So I basically stopped drawing, painting, anything like that altogether. And in 7th grade, I was in another art class where the teacher also hated my work. So that was encouraging once again. It only further confirmed it for me that I just shouldn't get into it, that I just shouldn't pursue it, that it's nothing special, you know, that I have nothing special to offer the art world, because my technical abilities weren't superb, but I was like 13. So I don't know, I don't know why I expected so much from myself. I don't know why I continue to, but we'll get into that later. So yeah, middle school, not much going on there. Really just didn't paint, draw very much. And if I did, it was for like a project or something. I could say the same thing for freshman year of high school. Let me see. Can I think of when I actually did start painting and drawing again? Maybe like junior year. I think junior year was when I started thinking about it again. Yeah. Junior year of high school. So that's like a huge gap from elementary school to junior year. Just like nothing, right? So yeah, junior year, I asked for an art set for Christmas and an easel. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're not gonna get into that. But yeah, that's what I asked for Christmas, so I could start painting again and maybe drawing again. So I would do it, you know, like whenever I kind of thought of it. It was really in the back of my mind all the time, just kind of like a whenever I get spare time and want to do it, I can do it type of thing. And then senior year, it became more of a, oh, okay, I'll pull the art stuff out of the back of the closet, you know, give it a position of honor somewhere where I can see it and look at it to remind myself to actually try to draw or paint every once in a while. But by then I had gotten into my small business, which I'm not going to get into too heavily, but my small business kind of introduced me to the world of photography, and it made me interested in mobile photography, so just like cell phone pictures, but also camera photography, you know, DSLR, all that kind of stuff. So fast forward to let's see, summer after my senior year, which was quite recent. That was in this year, 2020. I decided that I wanted to start, you know, making YouTube videos and editing my pictures for myself, not for my small business anymore. And then I just started posting on YouTube. Was it 100% consistent? No, because I was so conflicted about this whole small business thing. But I started to make things that were more for me, that were more for my enjoyment, for my creative expression. And in August, when it came around time for me to start picking my classes, I was kind of pushed into taking a digital photography class. Now, this class is the first class that I've ever taken that's like an artistically driven class, because of all those, you know, knockdowns that I had in elementary school and middle school from art teachers. I never really wanted to take an art-focused class in high school, just because I thought that I would do really poorly in the class and it would mess up my GPA, and oh no, we can't touch the precious GPA. So I never did take an art kind of class, no drawing or photography, or not even yearbook, even though I really wanted to take that. Did not do that in high school. So this is my first like art driven class, and it really has been challenging for me, because for me, I have such a mindset that's just so easily wounded because of people's judgments, but I've learned to gain a bit of a harder shell, especially when it comes to critiques. So then I don't take things personally, and I don't take it as a sign that I should stop what I'm doing, because the opinion of one or a few doesn't match the opinion of everyone. So it really has been a challenge for me to take photos that both match the technical aspects of what we're studying, but also fulfill me creatively. And it's kind of driven me to a point of no motivation whatsoever. So earlier on in the semester and towards the end of the summer, I was really doing good with taking the time to draw, taking the time to paint, and I even got a few things up on my wall that I was really proud of. But now I'm just I don't want to do anything. I made a little drawing with some Sharpies the other day, but I mean, it's not something that I'm extremely, extremely proud of. It's just, I just don't feel motivated to create things anymore. I don't feel motivated to create things on paper anymore, I should say. I've been doing really, really well with actually editing videos on YouTube and editing Instagram pictures, but now I'm finding that I don't even want to edit Instagram pictures anymore. I'm just interested in editing YouTube videos, and I'm pretty much posting my Instagram pictures raw, no filter, nothing, which is really interesting for me because it's been a while since I've done that. But yeah, that's just a little rundown on my creative journey. That's where I was, that's where I've been, and that's where I am now. For the future, I really do have an interest in film. Don't ask me what aspects, because I'm not sure. It's just everything about film fascinates me. I've taken 2 classes that were dual enrollment classes during high school on film, and I'm not sure if it was just the fact that I loved my teacher or if I really do love film. But I don't know, ever since I've taken those classes, I've still had a really big part of me that just screams I want to create a film one day. I want to create some cinema magic one day, whether that means that I write it or produce it or direct it or edit it or hold the camera. I'm not sure, because I've never really been exposed to all of those things hands-on. I'm a very hands-on type of person, so I won't understand the full aspects of everything until I actually kind of get into it and try to do it myself. And that's also a reason why I'm always changing things about my social medias and changing my Instagram and the way it looks and my feed, and because I like to try things before I rule them out or before I decide to do them for a full-time kind of thing, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I want to pursue film, but I'm also not very acclimated with film, and I don't know the history of film, and I can't name to you every film that has ever won an Academy Award like most people who are interested in film probably could. But I'm still I don't know, I'm still kind of passionate about it, and I do want to pursue it in some way or another. So maybe I'll look into just networking with someone who is into that industry, and maybe they can give me a little bit of background. That would also be good as a podcast episode. I think it would be nice to have someone on to talk about their experiences and maybe stereotypes and things within the film industry that should be debunked. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much my take on everything right now. I hope that I get out of this little slump and I start drawing and painting again, but quite honestly, I don't really have a lot of time for it. And I know I really should make time for it, but I'm hoping that I can continue the internship that I have with this marketing agency now, just so that I could get more used to working in a professional environment and hopefully working on social media, ad campaigns, or creative services or anything like that. Because I still think those things would be really cool and really helpful and useful for me in the future, just to have like that experience under my belt and to be able to say like I've been an intern or I've been working with this huge agency for half a year or a year. I think that looks really good. That would look really good on a resume, which really sucks. I think that I have to think about what would look good on a resume instead of what I actually would want to pursue. Like, I don't know. There's also the financial aspect of it, which I mentioned in my first episode, which was quite rambly, but I'm just not sure what I want to do, to be honest. I do want to continue the internship at the marketing agency, but I also want some kind of internship or experience in film. So we'll see. To be determined. I'll try manifesting some things and see where it goes. But yeah, I'm not gonna ramble on too long. I'm not gonna stretch this any further than it needs to be stretched. I just wanted to create this little introduction of myself, and so you can understand who exactly you're talking to. Oh, also some random tidbits about me, I guess I should say, so you understand pretty much all aspects of my life. I am doing my community college classes remotely right now, so that's been fun. My siblings are also at home with me remote. They haven't been back to school yet. Even though our public schools are open, they haven't been anywhere. My mom is an entrepreneur, so she works pretty much all the time. What else? I have 2 pets. I mentioned the turtle earlier. Her name's Donatella. And I have a fish named Barry. And I'm an avid YouTube watcher, an avid movie watcher, although I haven't seen even half of the quote-unquote classics. I also love plants, take very good care of my plants. I am very prideful about my ability to care for plants and animals. What else? I have an obsession with Paris, anything Parisian. I also aspire to travel a lot in the future. I really wanted to do that sometime in the summer, but of course COVID happened, so can't do that. But I also have an obsession with Christmas. I start celebrating Christmas in October pretty much, just because it's the most wonderful time of the year. And if you cringe at us crazy Christmas people, I'm sorry, but hey, we're just living our lives. We're just living our Christmas loving lives and drinking our peppermint peppermint hot cocoa. Also, I've been obsessed with Kraft mac and cheese recently, which I used to hate when I was a kid, but now I love it. I don't know. And my favorite I can't speak anymore. My favorite podcast at the moment is Emma Chamberlain's podcast, Anything Goes. That's been my groove right about now. Not sure why. I think I just enjoy more rambly styles of podcasts instead of like really structured or advice-giving ones all the time, just because I feel like the rambly ones are more organic. It just feels like someone's talking to you on the phone. So if you like that, then you'll probably love my podcast. And you should definitely follow and share with a friend who might also love my podcast, a fellow creative. I'm not sure when I'm actually going to tell anyone that I have a podcast, because literally no one knows. My mom doesn't know, my grandma doesn't know, Instagram doesn't know, YouTube doesn't know. So we'll see when I decide to announce that. I think I'm going to convert one of my Instagram accounts to the podcast account, and then it's just gonna kind of be like, surprise! But I'm gonna try to announce it ahead of time so then it's not too like weird, or it doesn't throw people off too much. So yeah, anyways, thank you for listening to this episode, and if you'd like to hear me rant and ramble in the last episode, please do so, but I'd technically count this as the very first one, just because it actually had a structured topic and it wasn't entirely chaotic. But anyway, I hope that you stay safe and enjoy your day, evening, morning, whatever time it is. And also, I think I want to do a quote of the day. Wait, I found a quote somewhere. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm taking too long to find this quote. Okay, quote of the day is from an Instagram account called Lazy Sunday. And I think the person who said it was Osho. But the quote says, "When I say be creative, I don't mean that you should all go and become great painters and great poets. I simply mean let your life be a painting, let your life be a poem." I thought that was very beautiful, because it's true. You don't have to be amazing at painting or amazing at writing or amazing at anything to pursue it and enjoy it and make your life a creative space. So thank you again for listening. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you all later. Stay creative. Bye.